Okay, ready to go. Get ready. We're going to be all over the place. We are going to be in the floor. If you can get in the floor. If you can't get in the floor, you'll go to your chair or you'll go against the wall. We're going to do a dynamic movement screen, okay, today. So, again, this is my little series called Getting Back on Track. When you can't breathe, it is very difficult to do a lot of moving. So, I can breathe now. And we're going to do I got this from a really great physical therapist. I'd been doing all these moves anyway. So I got her little chart. So this is called the Walker's Daily Dozen. And I do have it. I can give it to you, or I don't know if you can order it. Anyway, I've used it for many years. So we're going to do that with some other things that I just know about for a movement screen. So what is a movement screen? Dynamic movement screen. If you're standing here and you're walking like this, that's moving, correct? So a dynamic movement screen would start with walking, okay? Walking front to back, which we do a lot of. Turn your leg and come out just a little. See that? And then I come back. Turn your leg out and just put a little pressure going in this direction. See that? Big breath through the nose, preferably. So after I've walked a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back, going in a different plane, okay? Sagittal, frontal, transverse. See, I'm turning, I'm doing a little bit of a transverse, but I'm moving in across in a frontal plane position. See my hands? So we're going to get that going too. See, as I go like this, thumbs are facing. Then as I go out, don't miss this. See, as I'm pushing here, my rib cage is up, my thumbs are facing. As I push, I drop my shoulders and I pull my elbows up a little. And I see, how does that feel? And then I come down. Now, I'll tell you, if you've had rotator cuff issues, like some of us have, see, I'm going to turn. Okay, now I can tell right now, for me on this side, this is tight. This little movement is tight here in the hip. This is my non-replaced hip. Yes, that's part of it, talking to you. There's, little tightnesses here and there because things are not working completely correct. So I'm going to do this again with my arms. So say rib cage up, because see, here's the deal. I have you standing this way. This is a dynamic or moving movement screen, stretching. I would rather do a dynamic stretch any day than just sitting on a stretch just because you want to sit on a stretch. When you go to bring your arms up in this manner, because you have your foot this way, okay? Many of you are doing this and you don't realize that. You're jumping your head out. So I'm saying that's the very first thing. Tuck in your chin, take a breath through the nose, out, and keep your chin in retraction. Don't be out here, okay? Because when I go up like this, see, my foot's out this way, and when I bring my thumbs together and they come up, my shoulder blades need to be working, going down into the back. Don't let your shoulders come way up here right now, okay? Keep your shoulders down, take a big breath through the nose, and here I go. Up, and now we're gonna rotate. See that? And then we come down. But you see, I don't get the benefit of knowing how things are feeling if when I do this, I'm out like this. it doesn't work. So some of you are like, but I can't stand up. This is when I take Kay to the rack or to a wall. So if you have a wall, a door, even the back of your chair, because see, I don't have a wall to push up against here. Okay, I can push up against that. But just like this, see, turn the toe out. And as I'm coming up, it just this touching right here keeps me from doing this. Okay, so chin tucks, the thumbs are together. See, my toe is out, but I'm just pressing up against here as if it were a wall. And then I keep my shoulders down as I lift. See that? Okay, once I get to that point, if there's no pain, then I can rotate and come up. If that is an issue for you, that kind of a movement screen that I'm doing right now, take note. Then we have to work backwards so that we can pull and then pull, okay? And then rotate down and rotate down. That is a normal, functional movement pattern that if you're having trouble with, which if Kathy has a rotator cuff issue, she could have trouble with this. So what does she do? Well, don't do it. Don't do it, Kathy. So what you do is you start rotating in and out first. If that gives you no trouble, see this? And now I'll turn this way because I'm letting this kind of be in that position. One foot's forward, one foot's out. And if this is giving me trouble in an upright position, see this? In a rotation, if that is giving me trouble, then I can't do that. But what you don't want to do is jump your head out and bend over and go, oh, see, I can do it now. See? So we're standing upright. Drop your shoulders. Pretend I'm right there and I'm putting my hands on your shoulders. When you go into this, are you doing this kind of a thing so that you can rotate? That's what I want you to notice, okay? So this is a big deal. This is a big deal in shoulder and neck dynamic motion. See that? Rotate and down. And if at any time you do these funny little moves with your shoulder so that you can rotate, then we got some issues, all right? So big breath. Now I'm going to take my hand, now that I've done that, and I'm just going to take my hand like I'm raising it, okay? Just like I'm raising it. And at the same time, I'm going to act like that I'm going to stay in a kind of a walking situation, but instead of coming forward, I'm going to go back with the leg. So the leg that goes back, you're going to raise that hand, and then you're going to do what's called a hip hiker. See what I did? Yeah, I just want to push into that toe. See, I'm standing here. I put the leg back. That hand is going to come up, and I'm going to try to really reach. So hike this hip up, okay? That has a lot to do with your shoulder, your neck, your back, your hip flexors and extensors. And then I'm going to come down. And then I'm going to come down. Then I'm going to go to the other side. So I'm going to take the leg back, and I'm going to bring my arm up as if I'm going to reach something way up on a top shelf. So you just see that? See, I had to hike this hip up, and I'm pushing just like that. And I'm on my toe in the back. And then I bring it down, and I check everything out. How's that feeling? Okay. where you're able to hike a hip and hike a hip. See that? See that? Keep your shoulders down. Take a big breath through your nose. You hike and you hike. So now I just have my hands right here, and I want to feel these hips. I want to feel it coming up and back down, up and back down. So that kind of a motion as you're moving, how does that feel on your lower back? How does that feel? Is your shoulders down? Don't let your shoulders come up. Keep your tummy tight. Any breathing happens through the nose, okay? So this hip hiking thing with the legs pretty straight is really a good thing to do. And then you add that rotation to the back, which makes you open your hip here, okay? And you're up and you're reaching, and then you bring it down, and then you slip the other leg back, and you're reaching all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, and then come back down. 2 big movements to check in with how things are floating, what's going on, right? Okay, now we go into our setbacks, okay? And we do just a couple. This is a movement string. This is dynamic movement, okay? This is where, if you do have a door, if you do have a counter, a bed post, a chair, so you could even do it from the chair. See, I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna back off, and I'm gonna pull. I am not gonna drop my head at this point. I'm keeping my neck neutral, okay? So I'm setting back while I'm pulling through from the chair. And I'll grab equally with my hands. Don't drop your head. Push into your heels. Really push that butt back. Bend the knees a little bit. And then come back up. Open your hands and open back. Okay? Just like that. Do it 2 more times. Push back. You're wide. You're pushing into the heels. The ears stay right here at the bicep. You grab your chair. You grab a door. You grab a counter. Grab your bedpost. Push back. You're pushing back. You're pushing back. You're pushing back. Then when you come up from that, you push into the heels. Keep your knees soft. Come up, 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 up. Open the hands. Drop your shoulders. Take big, deep breaths. In through the nose. And one more time. Press into the hips. The ears are at the biceps. You're grabbing that post. You're grabbing the door frame. You're pushing back into the heels. You hang out here for a little bit. Then you come up and you open those hands out. Big press, big press, big press, big press. Yay. Then you come back down. Take your hands now. You went way open, right? Really open through here, right? So now I'm going to add a little one of my own in here. You just bring your hand like this. So you don't do it really super hard. You don't try to disjoint your shoulder. You're doing a wide, soft knee stance. Shoulders are down. You've just opened really wide, correct? Okay, as I take my hand across my body, I keep my shoulder down. Don't let your shoulder right up. And you grab right above the elbow, okay? And you give it just a firm press into you while you keep your shoulders down. And then you come back, okay? Take a big breath through the nose. Here we go. Drop your shoulder. See how I'm putting my hand right above the elbow? And then it's like you're reaching back here. That's all. This is just an assist. You're not putting a lot of pressure on it or anything. And then you open it back. Then you do a series of rotations in and out with your shoulder. See that? In and out with your shoulder. And as I'm going in and out with my shoulder, I go in and out with my leg. Okay? So this is open. Okay? You externally rotate, then you internally rotate. See that? Just a couple. Just these rotations are excellent. People totally don't realize the benefit of just doing just a gentle rotation through your joints with good neutral posture. Okay, I'll do the other side now with my leg. So I'll go out. See, I'm going out. Take a breath. Keep your shoulders down. See, really pull those thumbs out. Now, when you pull your thumb out, if I came into the room right now, I didn't say anything, see, I didn't say anything, but many of you were doing this, and you don't even realize it. So, retract your chin, pull those thumbs out, pull that toe out, then you come in. See, you come all the way in with that foot, all the way in, all the way out, but don't lean out, okay? Big breath, and then come back. Okay, now we're ready for some opposite the flexion. We're going to do some extension, okay? I'm going to step right here, and I'm going to act like, let's just put my little tea towel right here. See that? See that? So in a movement screen for dynamic motion, let's say, see, I don't want to go all the way down to the floor. I want you to put one leg back. See that? My knees are soft. Yes. And I'm going to hip hinge. And I'm going to reach and I'm going to grab. And I'm going to come back. See that? I'm going to put it down and pick it back up. See this? And put it back down. See that? And I'll do it a couple of times. Then I'll switch. And I'll bend my knees. And I'm going to go down, hip hinge. I'm going to reach and pick this up. And then come up, lift, come back down, put it down. Keep your chin tucked. Come up, press, and come back down. See what I'm doing with this hand at the same time? See that? See that? And I can switch. I can switch. But when I bring my hand back, see, I'm doing that very important move with all my antagonistic muscles to my forward flexion that I do all day long. See that? Rotate and come back down. And if you feel this working, yes, just do a little switch up. Oh my goodness, I have 6 deers running across my driveway. Okay, here we go again. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. This is tantamount to one-legged squatting with working our flexors and extensors. Okay, so it's going to be up, come down, put it down. Switch up, come down, put it down. Switch up, keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked. Come down. See how I'm coming up? Yeah, your little finger is the leader. Don't come up with your thumb up. So you're coming down, you're coming up, whoop, and push it down, and you're coming up, push it down, and you're coming up. Keep your chin tucked. All the movement is through here. Some of you are doing this, and that's not what I'm doing, okay? I'm doing this, up and down, up and down, up and down. Little finger is leading, and up and down. And then I come back in, okay? So that's part of the Walker's Daily Dozen little movement screen. That kind of, and you notice I didn't do it having you reach way down. I wanted to do it from the chair height. Okie dokie. Okay, next little movement screen, and this has to do with your whole body too. So what am I doing? See what I'm doing? I'm trying to stand on a line. And if you have a hard time not cheating, number one, you can always put a piece of tape on the floor. But I'll just put this here and I'll go right beside it, and I'll try to line my feet up right beside this. See what I'm doing? See, I put my pole down. My knees are soft, okay? And then whenever I go from one foot to the other foot, I just want to feel my heel. I want to feel my heel, okay? And then I can go back, and I'm being right next to the pole. Do not misstep and step on that pole. That's not a healthy thing to do because it'll roll. So here I am. So I got to be able to go one foot in front of the other is the point on a straight line. Now I'm going to bring my hands up here, and I'm going to intensify this whole effort, okay? So knees are soft. When you feel like you're going to fall, the very first thing is lower your center of gravity. That's number one. Of course, step out so that you get a wider base, and that usually will stop the falling situation, okay? Or the feel like you're falling situation. Lower your center of gravity, stay on that straight line. Now bring your hands up here and go like this. See this? It's amazing when you start to move your upper body and you're trying to hold a tandem stance with your toe touching your heel. And see, I'm just going to come like this, like I was running, okay? And if I wanted to really push it, all right, take a breath through the nose. Take a breath through the nose. I would go like this from one side to the other side, and I would try to maintain this kind of a tandem stance. Ooh. Okay, that's in one position. Then I'll switch, and I'll go one, the other foot now is in front, and the other one is in back, okay? First thing that you do, what is it? Lower your center of gravity, number one. Line yourself up, number two. You can hip hinge, but what you can't do is bend at the waist or the neck, okay? I am telling you, I just shake my head. See what I'm doing? I'm not going real vigorous. I'm trying to move my arms like a running person or a walking person, like you were walking fast. And if you're thinking, oh, I got this, great. Keep your center of gravity low. Do not be doing this. Don't junt your head out. Keep the chin tucked and do the running motion with your arms or brisk walking, okay? Keep your center of gravity down by bending at the knee, a little bit at the hip. Big breath through the nose. If you want to, cross midline more, and it gives you a lot to fight against and to check in to see how your arms are moving in this very natural, functional way. And if you have problems with that, okay, I can tell you that I'm really trying to concentrate on staying in my tandem stance right now. I'm working hard at it, okay? And then I'm going to come up, step out, Take a big deep breath. Okay. I'll move my little bar so I don't step on it. Now I'm going to keep my feet right here. And I'm going to do typically what people think is a warrior pose. This leg is straight. The toe is going out that way. This toe is forward. This knee is bent. And I'm just going to bring my arms open like this. Just like that. Okay? And I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to bend that knee. And I'm going to come right down into this leg right here. See that? And I'm going to hold my stance. Okay? Then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to open just like that. Okay? Take a big deep breath. I'm going to come right here again. Put my hand on the inside of my leg. And I'm going to open. And I'm going to come right back in here. Now, if you have shoulder issues, it is going to be very difficult in some situations for you to really open back here. So you got to bend the elbow a little and then try to straighten it. Okay, don't make something grind that you don't have to. All right, so my hand is right here on the inside of my knee. Okay, and I'm right here facing this way. My toes facing out. And I'm going to open if I can with a straight arm. If I can't with a straight arm, then I'll keep my elbow bent and then I'll straighten it here. Okie dokie. What's the chin doing? Then come back down. Okay? Then you're going to come back. So this leg is straight. This leg is bent. And go ahead and bend it as far as you feel you can. Okay? Keep your rib cages up. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. Big deep breath. And then come back in. And then turn and come back in. Yeah. You have to hang on to core, hips, knees. Then you open those shoulders. Woo. Okay. Are you ready? So now this leg is going to be straight. This leg is turning in and stepping out. See that? Yeah, just like that. Okay, so first of all, we'll just do the typical. So my toe is straight. I'm going to go here as far as I can. Hands are going to be out. You can go thumbs up or palms up, palms down, palms up, and palms down. See how I'm pushing? See how I'm pushing? Yeah, keep your chin tucked. Keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down. Yes. Keep your shoulders down. Okay, you ready? You're going to bring this hand down here, and you're just going to go up with it. See, I'm going to go up. I'm going to put my hand right here on the inside of my knee, and I'm just reaching, 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 reaching. Take a big deep breath. Then I'm going to close. Then I'm going to open back as far as I can. And if you can, you keep your arm pretty straight, okay? So say rib cage up, keep your chin tucked, toe is this away, toe is this away. This is straight, this is bent. I'm gonna open, 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 open. If I can't do that, I'll keep my elbow bent and then I'll try to open, okay? Big breath, big breath. Shoulders are down. Big breath, big breath, big breath, big breath, and bring her back. And you can do that a couple of times, okay? And hang out here. So I'm going to come back and come back in. Yay. Take my shoulder, take it around, take my shoulder, take it around, because that was a big move for shoulders, okay? Bring my hands and press back. Keep my shoulders down. Bring my hands right here and press back. So anytime you're having an issue with whatever joint, whatever muscle, go into a dynamic movement screen as we're doing today. Ascertain when is the move giving you a problem, okay? So as I'm standing here with a soft knee, chin tucked, rib cage up, keeping my chin tucked, I have my thumbs right here, then I'm gonna open back, and I'm gonna squeeze the backs of those arms, okay? Squeeze the backs of those arms, okay? Just like that. I'm gonna do a couple of times. Thumbs are right here, chin tucked, shoulders down, bring your shoulders down, and then open your arms. Then you're gonna kind of move in and out. See that? Like you're gonna do a hand clap. So soft knees, keep your chin tucked, bring those shoulders in, really squeeze the shoulder blades, try to do a little hand clap. Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders, and then swing. Because you're gonna big contraction in order to try to squeeze those hands together. So take a break anytime you need to, okay? Okay, onward and upward. Here we go. Let's get on down into the core of things, okay? And we're gonna do this from our chair. So I'm gonna put my hands here. Sometimes, depending on whatever your wrist is happening, whatever's happening in your elbow, your shoulder, this might be a problem. If you are better with your elbows down, then put your elbows down. All this stays the same. So if I came in and you were doing this and you were hanging your head, then we would have a problem, wouldn't we? So keep that chin tucked, the ears over the shoulders. I'm going to use my hands here because that's the position that I would like to see you try to work on. And I'm going to come back and I'm just going to hang here for a bit. See that? Take a big deep breath. Then I'm going to move one leg in and I'm going to press one heel back. But my head, my shoulders, they all stay in the same line. Don't hang your head here. You're pushing that heel down, okay? As best as you can. Take a big deep breath, then bring that leg back, and you're doing a chair plank position. If this gives you a problem, then of course go down to your elbow. Bring the other leg in, and drop your heel. Drop your heel in back, okay? Your arms are straight, but they're not locked. Keep my chin tucked. Keep my chin tucked. Take a big breath through my nose and really hang out there for a bit and see how that's feeling. Then you switch it back and you're right here again. See that? And I'm just going to hang out here for a bit and see how that's feeling on my arms, my front and back of my arms, my shoulders, my core. Then I'm going to push back, stay flat-footed, really do that sit back. Remember the sit back I introduced at the beginning? Okay, keep your chin tucked. Big deep breath, big deep breath, big deep breath. You're really reaching with those fingers, those arms. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Take a big deep breath. And come back. Now, for this next one, I'm going to move into the floor. If that's not going to happen for you, fine. Do it from here. Perfectly fine to do it from here. Everything that I'm going to do this next move. Okay, and we've done this move many, many times. But I'm going to come down into the floor. And how am I going to get into the floor? I'm going to step wide. I'll always be where I can grab a chair, a wall. You get it. But I'm going to come right here. I'm going to go this way. See here? So I'm not getting just down there immediately. I'm screening for what's happening in the groin here, the adductors. See how I'm going from side to side? I want to keep my chin tucked. I want to drop here as far as I can. And I'll go a couple of times. My elbows on my knee. And I'll go until I feel that stretch right through the groin. Right there. Okay? So once I've done that, and I'm going to go to the floor. If you don't want to go to the floor, you put your hands on the chair. And you can do all of this from the chair. I'm going to walk myself out, bring my knee down and my knee down. See that? So, one of the best things you can do to really see if everything's working is a quadruped. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do right now. So, I'm on my hands and knees, or I'm here at the chair, standing on my feet. And I'm going to take, I don't care which, one leg back, but whatever leg goes back, the opposite hand is going to lift. And you don't reach out on the get-go. You don't just all of a sudden reach out, because if you do that, you're going to find yourself in the floor. Okay? It's okay, because you don't have that far to fall if you're in the floor. So I'm going to lift. I'm going to lift my hand up. And then I'm going to reach. I'm going to do a point flex with my foot. And I'm going to do a couple of circles with my ankle. I'm going to do a point flex. Point flex. Take a big breath through my nose. Then I'm going to come back in, come back in. And before I do the other side, I'm going to go ahead and go down on my elbows and just put my forehead on my hands. I can do all of this from the chair. Okay? Just like that. Drop your shoulders. Then come right back. You're going to take the other leg back. Lift the leg. Don't lock your elbows. Keep your chin tucked. Bring your opposite hand of your leg and just lift it off the ground. Don't reach yet. Little by little, you can sneak it out there. Okay? Big breath. Point flex. And around you go with your ankle. Point flex. And around you go with your ankle. And you're bringing it in. And so the whole thing should maybe last 30 seconds to a minute, let's say. Something like that. Okie dokie? Okay, so now I'm gonna bring my toes out. I'm gonna go down to my elbows again. I'm gonna go ahead, since I'm in the floor anyway, right? Okay, we're already down there. I'm gonna crawl myself out. Like I'm crawling through a little tunnel. And there I go into my hyperextension, careful hyperextension of my back. My shoulders are down. I'm going to really press into the elbows. And I'm just pressing as much as I can into that move. Just a gentle, okay? Then I'm going to come back. Crawl myself back. I'm going to come right here again. I'm on hands and knees. Then I'm going to just simply pull myself to one side. For those of you with wonky hips, this move, okay? So who would have a wonky hip? Well, if you've had a hip replaced, if you're heading for a hip replaced, if you know you have arthritis in your back, you've had sciatic issues, sitting like this can be a big deal. And you can feel a huge stretch. See how I'm trying to push myself up? I feel a huge stretch right through here. So this is my hip that's not replaced. It's the one that's tightening up on me. But I keep working with it right now. Take a big deep breath, okay? Before I change and go to the other side, I'm going to take my hand again and I'm going to move it back. See how many times I'm trying to give you opportunity to open through your chest, through your pectorals, through your shoulders. They all work together because they're all connected, okay? So before I do that now, I'm gonna push and come up, and then I'm gonna go to the other side. And I'm gonna sit my little hip down right there. So this is the hip replace side. Not nearly a stretch producing right here. But if I push myself up, keep my knees down, I can feel a little stretch, but it's not painful at all. It's just working through hip mobilities, okay? Because you should be able to come into this position to your hands and knees and come back. Now, before I get up, I'll just swing my legs around right here. See that? And I can do this next move one of two ways. I can do it seated. I can lay totally down. I can be sitting in the chair. But this move, I call it the wave. Window washer, wave, however you can remember it. You rotate your hips to one side. You rotate them to the other side. See that? And you try to get your legs to go as far as you can. See, down onto the floor. See that? So back, and yeah, you're going to lift here, and then you're going to come down and back. See that? That has everything to do with your lower back and your hip connection, as well as your knee connection. So this kind of rolling little maneuver, very good thing to do for hip mobility, especially if you have hips replaced, knees replaced. This is a movement pattern that can help you manage the situation. You see what I'm doing? See, I'm just taking my leg down, pulling my toe back. I am not bending my back here. I'm not flexing it. I'm hip hinging. I get all kinds of great moves without overdoing in any of my joints. See, especially my back. See how I'm coming down and just grabbing and coming down, kind of like threading the needle. See that? So I'm hip hinging, and I just do a couple as I keep my knee up. So some of you have a really hard time coming forward unless you open out with your leg. Try to keep that up here. Try to keep your back extended. Now, once you've done that, then I'm going to come back to my hands and knees position. See where we're at. We're going pretty good. Doing pretty good. So here I am, hands and knees. So I didn't go into the back extension, laying down too much. Did I flexion and extension? So see what my toes are doing? So I'm hoping my goal is for every single person that have been in my class for very long is that they can manage getting down into the floor, stretching through their feet, their toes, tightening in their tummy, bringing their knees off the ground, hang out there for a bit, and then step in and get up off the floor, all on your own, okay? And then you can go straight-legged and then come back down. It's kind of like a rocking horse. See, like that? And then come back down. See that? Yeah, when you come up into that little rocking horse, take a big deep breath. This is great to do for your vestibular function, by the way. See this? See, as I go up and down, I keep my shoulders down. I keep my chin tucked. I'm lifting my toe. I'm straightening my leg, lifting my toe, straightening my leg. Take a breath, and you come right back up. Okay? So now, take a big deep breath, shake out. Every time I say take a big deep breath, I mean shut your mouth. If you just shut your mouth, everything else will take care of itself. You got to get the air in there somewhere, right? Breathe through that nose. Try to keep your shoulders down. Now do a little test for me. Step forward. Okay? Drop your shoulders. Soften up your knees. Slip the toe right behind your heel. Got it? So I'm standing right here. If I start to get off balance, what's the first thing I do? Lower my center of gravity. What's the second thing I do? Step out. That's all. And then come back. See this? But I'm not bending my back. I'm not taking my chin out here and hanging my head out here like a bowling ball out in front of the rest of my spine. I think that's what I was trying to explain a while ago, and then I forgot to finish my statement. I do that quite often. My head goes ahead of me. Many of you teachers have taught kids like me. I know. Anyway, I'm right here. See? I'm hanging out here. All right? Bring your hands across. Bring them open. Do a running man. It should be easier now because you got all your senses with balance functioning. It's going. Okay? Take a big deep breath through the nose. Woo. Yeah. And then do your running man. See that? Do a cross body. Yeah. Stand your ground. Take a big deep breath. When I see people running, hanging their head out like this, or I see people in sports doing that kind of motion, I just shake my head because they are setting themselves up for a big injury through their necks, through even their shoulders, their arms, because that will impact everything. This kind of a positional thing, especially when you're doing yard work, gardening, sports of any sort, and you constantly have your head out like that, you're setting yourself up for problems. Okay? All right, take a big deep breath. We're gonna come into our little chair. See this? I love these. Look here. You can do these anytime. So this is functional movement right now. This is dynamic functional movement screening. See this? My toe is down. If I go and I put the top of my foot down on the ground, it changes a lot even then. Get my chin tucked. And see, I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm not pushing anywhere. I'm just rotating. See that? I'm rotating. And this is coming from somebody with a replaced knee and a replaced hip. Okay? Take the time to do some dynamic movement, to warm yourself up, to check in with you. Don't just hit a stretch and hold it there. That's not going to warm you up so well. Movement, dynamic movement will. Then go ahead and lay your foot down and really pull yourself back. Oh my goodness. You're going to feel so much better if you'll just take a few seconds to do this kind of rotationals. Okay? Okay, drop your shoulders, open wide, come into this kind of a sit to stand, and then just check in with yourself. Okay? It's just an open, it's a forward and back. And if you have shoulder issues, I can tell you, when you come into here and then you turn your hands, any kind of rotation, or you try to come up and touch your back, that's gonna clue you in on your shoulder issues. See? See? How's that feeling? If that's a problem, then we have to step back and break it down. You need to be able to touch the back of your head without junting your head forward. Keep it back there, okay? One of the best places to help you is to get up on your wall and to bring your hands up, all the way up on that wall, all the way up, and then all the way down. Your elbow and the back of your hand should be touching the wall as you do this, okay? And that, my friends, is a dynamic movement screen that we went through all the way down and up, and it will help you feel better. I promise it'll help you feel better.